Java tutorial. In this video tutorial, we'll talk about one of the very famous Java programming question. These days, this programming question is very popular from interview point of purpose. Yeah. So here you can see the problem statement. Problem statement says write a program to move all zero at the end of the array. Right. Let's try to understand through an example. So here you can see I have an input array, right? And after moving 0 at the end, we want output in this format. So here you can see one thing you should keep in mind, element which is in the input array, order should be same in the output array. So here you can see 10 is the one of the non-zero number which comes first in the input array and output array both, right? 2, then 78, then 30, then 19, 16, and so on, right? And all the 0 has to put in the end of the array, right? Here one thing I would like to make it clear. Here nothing like elements are in sorted format or elements we will not have any negative elements. We can have negative elements as well, right? So how we can write a program to segregate non zero number and zeros, right? So first of all, if number is non-zero, then we have to put in the front of the array, and all the elements having value with 0 we have to put at the end of the array, right? So let's see how we can write a Java code for the same. So here I'm going to show you two approach. First approach, we are not going to any existing data structure, right? So if you go for interview, then sometimes whatever problem statement is given to you, interview will tell you cannot use any existing data structure, right? Then how you can solve the problem, right? So here of course we will see both the approaches, using existing data structure and without using any existing data structure. So first method we'll see how to solve this problem using without any existing data structure, right? So here I'm going to show you a couple of approaches, but it's not mean that there are only two approaches to solve this problem. There are many more, right? So here this is my input array, and let's start with, first of all, let's calculate the length of this guy, right? So I would say input array length. Okay, this is input array length. Now we required one variable. I would say variable name is count or index count. That would be meaningful. Index. Why I have given the name as index count, which I'm going to initialize with 0. Okay, now I'm going to iterate this array, right? So to iterate, just I'm using for loop. Cool. So just I'm iterating this array within this loop, and within this loop I'm checking each and every element of input array. So input array of I not equal to 0, right? Just we are looking for the non-zero number, right? If that is the case, then what we will do in this input array, we are using the same array. We haven't created any temporary array. That's the beauty of this program. Now what I'll do, I'll increment this count, okay, and at last we will put this input array value in the same. Basically just we are overriding the element, right, in every index if we find any element is non-zero, then okay. Now what you have to do, now this count is keep incrementing, right? So if all the non-zero we have inserted in this array, right, then what will happen basically? So this count will be incremented only for the non-zero number. So if there are 11 non-zero number over here, then count of value for this count would be 11. And once we come out from this loop, then count value will be 12, and which is the initial index of first 0 element, right? So I come to here, and here what I'll do, I'll apply a while loop. And in while loop, what I'll do, if count in the index count is less than this input array length. I hope you understood. So just now I'm incrementing, I have to increment this index count till length of this array, right? And every in every iteration, what I'll do in this basically array, we will put, so not in this array, yeah, in this array we will put value of 0. That's it, right? And once we'll come out from this loop, then we can iterate this array, right? Input array. So we will get all the 0 will be segregated, and that we will keep at the end of the loop. So if I run this, if I print value inside this array, so here you can see I'm using print, so that the number will be printed, entire array will be printed in a single line with a space. There would be a space between every element, right? So if I run this application, then see what is coming out. So here you can see what is the output. So output all the positive number, even order is the we have maintained the order. So 10 to 78, then we have a 30, 19, 16, then 17, 80, 13, 20, and then we have a 4 zeros, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4 zeros here. All zeros are at the end of the array, right? So this is pretty simple example. So let me explain you. This is input array. I'm getting the length out of this array. Now I have initialized one basically index count with 0. Just I have iterated this array, right? And while iterating, I'm checking every element from this array. If that is non-zero, then I'm putting elements in the same array, and this index just I'm incrementing, right? So once we will come out from this loop, then what will be the index count value? That value would be, so we have 11, let's say 11 positive elements we have in this over here, then count value would be basically 12, right? So and that would be the first index of 0 element, right? Whatever element value is having 0. Now what we are incrementing count less than equal to input array length. Why less than equal to input array length? Because when you look at the array length size, right? Array length size is basically array length last index would be the array length minus 1, and that's what. So now if I let me debug this application, and then we'll have more clarity. So if I debug this application, then here you can see now if you create F6, then you can see once we come out from this loop, so here you can see, now you can see the index count value. Index count value is 11, which is nothing but that means 0 to 10th index means 11 numbers we have stored in this input array, and 11th index would be the first 0 within this array. If I press F6, then you can see now index count is 14. Now index count is 15, and that came out from the, so 15 less than 15, right? False. That came out from the loop, and here we are printing all the elements of this array. So here what would be the complexity when we talk about the space and time complexity? So time complexity here we are using one array, right? So this will be iterated n number of times, so big O of n. What about this? This is not going to iterate in number of times. This will be iterated, let's say in this array, if you have 4 zeros, then 4 times this array is going to basically execute, right? So O of n plus O of 4 means constant, and again we are just printing this array, so printing array I will not count. So complexity of this program is the big O of n, right? And that's the time complexity. What about space complexity? Space complexity, we have not created any temporary kind of array, just we have created one variable, and with this variable basically we have performed all the tasks. So here a space complexity O of 1, that's it, right? So it's a very efficient way to write this kind of logic, right? For to move all the zero at the end of the array. Now let's use some existing data structure. How we can do that? So that's pretty simple. So here I'm going to create a list. So this is just my own thought, right? You may solve this problem with some another approach, but this is just my thought. So list I have created, and new, just I'm taking array list. I've created array list. Now what I'll do, I'll iterate this guy. This is my input array, so I am going to iterate this array, and let's say this is called data, and here just like that I am going to create a count. So int count equals to 0, just I have initialized with 0, and inside this if block what I'll do, if data not equal to 0, then I will add number in this array. So as you know, array list always maintains the order, so order will not get changed from this array. That's the good thing. So here data I am going to add. If number is 0, then what I'll do, else block I will do count plus plus. So here here once we will come out from this loop, then what will the count value? Let's say in this input array we have 4 zeros, right? Then count value will be 4. If input array is having a 5 zeros, then count value would be basically 5, right? So after coming out this loop, what I'll do, I'll create one more loop, okay? So or yeah, I can create a one more loop here. Of course you can use any kind of while loop, how we had used in the previous program, or for loop as well. Any kind of loop you can use, even do while also will work. So here we will go till count times, right? And here in this list, that much 0 we are going to add, right? So our intention is to add 0 in this list, right? Count number of times. So I have to say add, and here just simply we are going to add 0, right? And if I come out this loop, then in this list we have all the positive numbers in the front of the array, and the 0 will be added at the last, right? Now we have this list easily we can convert into the array, right? So we have a to array method, so I'm going to use this to array method. So new integer, and size will be of course list dot size, okay, and this will give us an array. I would say output array, okay. Now I can print, so let's say data, and just I'm going to print out of this array, and here just I'm going to use print instead of println. If I run this application, then here you can see output. So order has been maintained, right? Here you can see order has been maintained, and lastly 40 we have added here, right? So this is the also another way to basically solve this problem, but here we are using existing data structure is called array list, right? One of the implementation of list is called array list. Make sure that if you are using any existing data structure, right, then you have to choose that data structure which basically maintains the order. Like in list, usually all the list basically maintains order. If you use any kind of set, then there is probability if there is some duplicate number that will be overridden. So don't use set, always choose any of the implementation of list. So that's all I have in this video tutorial, guys. After putting some comments, right, comments or Java doc, I'll post this code on kkjavatutorials.com blog, and from there you can download this code, and link I will provide in the video description itself. Guys, big thank you for watching this video, and if you have any queries or any questions related to the logic what we have written in this program, then please post below to the video. I will answer you. Thank you so much.